Gentlemen, welcome everyone to the 2024 Kickstart Invitational podcast. This is what we get for taking a month off, where we dive into the heart of the Kickstart Invitational. I'm, of course, your host, Kyle Steffi, alongside Justin and Carter McPhail. In each episode, we'll be bringing you exclusive insights, player profiles, behind-the-scenes interviews, and expert analysis of the latest developments of the Kickstart Invitational. Carter and Justin, specifically and only, how are you guys doing?
I'm doing well, Kyle. Thank you.
Doing great, Kyle. Happy to be back. Real excited for this episode.
Before we introduce our guest, we do have a special ad read from one of our, if not our biggest sponsor. Carter, why don't you kick us the ad read here?
Sure. We took some time off, so we got a fresh one for everybody. Get ready to hit the greens. The sponsor of this episode, Dunham Sports. It's your one-stop shop for more than just turnips and all things golf. Their awesome selection of clubs, balls, and gear. You'll be swinging like a pro in no time. Got an exclusive deal just for you guys. Use code Kickstart24 for an awesome 24% off on all golf gear and accessories. Is this Georgia Heat playing tricks on me? Because Dunham's must be doing something right. Visit Dunham's in-store or online at dunhamsports.com to score your gear and make every round a hit. Dunham Sports, where great outdoors meets unbeatable savings, and every swing feels like it's leading you to those good directions. Take away, Kyle.
Hunting, fishing, loving every day. Thank you, Dunham. Thank you, Carter.
Fishing, loving every day.
Thank you, Carter. Special guest, rocking the national champs hat, Lapeer West graduate, if I'm not mistaken.
Lapeer East.
Lapeer East graduate. Glad we fact-checked that. Has lettered in varsity golf. Been compared to the likes of Eminem, Tyler Hero, and White Chocolate. The Urban Atlantic scout said, quote, he's got it in him. Please give a warm welcome to Austin Esser.
Thank you. Glad to be a part of it.
Glad you're here, Esser. First question we're asking everybody. What does Kickstart mean to you?
Oh man, a Kickstart, that's the mecca of like the guys' golf trips, man. It's the one we look forward to all year. It's talked about almost every single day in the group chat, man. It's just something everyone's looking forward to for a little good competition. So yeah, that's what the Kickstart means to me.
We asked this of all of our other guests as well, but we got to hear from you, first timer last year. We want to know, like, what's your favorite Kickstart Invitational memory? Something kind of specific, just one moment.
Oh, it would probably be the second 18 at Diamond Springs with me and my boy in the cart, Cody, giving Carter the fight of his life. I mean, neither Cody or myself were playing that great, but we were alternating every hole to give Carter just the worst time. It was fun in the cart for us, but it was fun to see him get challenged a little bit because he was playing phenomenal that 18.
Yeah, absolutely. It's awesome when you and your partner, your teammate, your boy can, just sort of draft off each other, and maybe you don't have a great hole every hole, but he has a great one and that bumps you up, and you have a great one the next hole, pick him back up. It's one of the things I love about the team matches that we play, for sure.
Yep.
Cart, why don't you take us to Esser's sort of his intangible scouting report, the stuff we're hearing from the ground before we get into the hard and fast statistics.
Yeah, so we met with the Urban Atlantic scout and prep for this one, and he sent me a few bullet points. I'll read them off here. In terms of performance, Esser demonstrates strong performance metrics, scoring average of 78. Positive strokes gained values. His scoring average indicates consistent performance on the course, while his positive strokes gained values suggest that he performs better than the average player. Consistency. He appears to exhibit consistency across rounds and courses, as indicated by his scores. Consistency is a crucial factor in golf, and Austin's ability to maintain solid performance levels can contribute to his reliability as a player. However, we did see a slight dip in the singles matches at Pilgrim's Run, indicating stamina may be a factor. Coming back to the Kickstart in year 2 will be interesting to see if the experience will create a different outcome for him. and he has potential for improvement. Strong performance last year. He's already a solid player. There's always room for improvement in golf, however. So if Austin can continue to refine his skills and enhance his performance over time, he'll be a good pick. So overall, it comes back that he's a valuable asset for either team in the competition. Strong performance metrics, consistency, and potential for improvement. He's going to be an effective player and definitely one to keep.
Yeah, the Atlantic Scout touches on some of the performance metrics, and I'll get into those. But what do you make of that I don't know, it almost seems like AI produced sort of scouting report, Esther? What do you think they've got to say? Is any of that true?
Yeah, the last day at Pilgrims, man, I didn't play my best, and I know that it's been on my mind a lot, letting the team down on the last day with that one. Looking forward to the singles match again to prove myself, to get a little redemption there. But no, I think it's a fair assessment. I think it'll be a good asset to either team. I'm ready to bring it this year and hopefully bring the dub for whoever decides to pick me.
Yeah, it's one of those things that I'll go through a couple of the stats. Career record of 1-3, singles record of 0-1. We know that he's a tough out. His strokes gained total 0.63 positive, so he's ranking 5th all time. That's including Mike. So a career low round of a net 71 at the Mines, which was tied for low round of the day, as we know. Gained almost 7 strokes on the field on that day. He was leading low net, obviously, after round 1, and round 2 we know had a tough outing, but had a pretty respectable score. And then round 3, everybody knows about the ass kicking he and Cody gave to Carter in the afternoon. It didn't relate to the lowest net score of all time for our boy here, but it helped with his scoring average. And then the last day had a tough day, and it's unfortunate timing, but if you spin that around and he has his best day on the last day and his worst day on the first day, probably nobody thinks anything about it. So the stats can be a little misleading in that way. Obviously, the career record, he wishes it was better, but we're talking about a guy that was tied for Rookie of the Year last year, So when we look at the statistics, you can make them say whatever you want to say, but obviously Austin's a good player and the statistics show that. So we're excited about what's going on in year 3 of the Kickstart, year 2 for Esser. So
Yep.
I'll tell you, I don't want to play against him and Cody again.
No doubt about that. Esser, I gotta ask. After the first day, you were tied for first in low net at a 71 with Cullen. At the end of that first day, were you just thinking that this was going to be a cakewalk?
No, and that first day was against Justin, and I was playing some of the best golf, and he was playing phenomenal too. The 8 shots I got still wasn't enough to beat him. So I was a little defeated. I still lost that. I shot a 79, I think, that day, and still lost. So
I'd help from my partner too. I don't want to,
yeah,
brush
Chase,
him under the bus. I had a good year last year, but those first 3 partner rounds, I needed my boy.
Yeah. No, I didn't think it was gonna be a cakewalk. I thought it was gonna be a challenge. I had no idea I didn't play any of the courses prior, so they're all new to me. So I had no idea what Diamond Springs was gonna bring to us the next day. And the double 18 was tough to do. It was warm that day. I mean, by like hole 33,
That was, yeah.
it was like, holy crap. So yeah.
I'll say it because this guy's PR trained pretty well. I was sitting like 5th in low net after day 1, and I remember texting Marla. I was like, "Babe, like, I might fuck around and win this thing. I don't know."
The Kickstart is different than like a PGA Tour event, and where like it's pretty rare that all the guys are going to be, keep moving forward on the leaderboard. It's best to sort of like hang in the middle of the pack and let everybody else fall back to you.
Yeah.
When we're talking about net golf, nobody's exactly blowing the doors off for 4 straight days. So, Yeah,
Yeah.
I can see how being in first position, he wasn't necessarily thinking about running away with the championship.
No.
Well, I love it. Esther, we're excited to have you back. We're excited to see what you can do that next year. And I know you set 5th in low net last year with a pretty decent gap between you and Cody. I know we'll get into some gambling odds, but if we're talking about a favorite to win most improved, you never know.
Yeah, it's a guy with, you heard it from the Urban Atlantic Scout. There's a lot of upside to this guy's game.
There is.
Yeah, we got some new clubs in the bag this year. Been working on the swing a little bit, so who knows? We'll see what will happen in a couple of
That
weeks.
wasn't on the scouting report.
Yeah, we're rolling up to this to our next ad break here, but tell us a little bit about that. What do we got in the bag?
Finally a new driver. I've been playing with the same Titleist driver for probably 10 or 12 years and could not get rid of it. Decided to pull a trig and got the Paradigm this year, and then I got a couple new wedges. Yeah, Team Callaway.
That's a good club.
I got a couple wedges. I got a 3-wood that might be on the way before the tournament.
Nice.
Possibly looking at a putter. We'll see, because that putter today, I was about ahead with it. So we'll see. But some new additions to the bag. I'm excited to play.
That's awesome. Kyle,
Esser, he's sitting at a 5.7 handicap per his 18 birdies right now, and I'll tell you, my eyes have been glued to that thing with him and Cody, dinging my phone every other day, watching these two guys go low.
I love to see it. I love to see the boys getting out there and posting some scores.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So for our next segment, Justin, you want to give us the 2023 gambling segment presented by Alliance Beverage. Jay, you want to kick us to them?
Yeah, I know that the odds on Alliance coming back for a sponsorship after this long break weren't the greatest, but the segment's still sponsored by Alliance Beverage. We don't know if they necessarily know that they sponsor this part of the trip or the podcast, but we're appreciative of them, of course. They're a local beer distributor here in Traverse City. Alliance exists to help fulfill and enhance the quality of lives of their associates, customers, suppliers, and community. Alliance is here to support the Kickstart Invitational Draft, the event, the betting here that we're going to do tonight, and of course, the pursuit of great golf and great friends.
Shout out Alliance. I love those guys.
Yeah. Thanks, Alliance. Thanks,
Hey.
Dan.
Shout out Dan, man. Dan's in the chat. He's got some glitchy Wi-Fi, he said, though. Poor guy.
Yeah, it
I
could
don't
be
know,
coming from the source.
It could very well be the source. I'm going to share my screen quick.
My little computer sounds like a PS4 right now.
Roll us into it, Kyle. Yeah, I'm all with you.
Yeah. So we've been working pretty hard to get these odds together, and there will be a means to an end here that you guys will announce after this. But we'd sent this to Esser last night, gave him some prep time. We're just going to kind of run through analysis, no real plan here. Go one by one. What bets do we like? What bets don't we like? And we'll start with Esser's opinion, and the peanut gallery will kind of chime in where needed. But these are the Vegas odds of the Kickstart Invitational 2024. First of all, before I just assume, Esser, I know we sent this to you last night. Which one piqued your interest the most?
Oh, I've been staring at how many golf balls does Fetty find at 64.5. I was trying to remember how many he found at Diamond Springs that one day. I want to say it was in the 30s, right?
Very well could have been.
I think so.
Yeah, it's on the podcast we did with them, but it's obviously not time stamped. If somebody finds it in there, they got a leg up on Vegas, I think.
Yeah. I looked at that one for a little bit. Obviously MVP, man. There's some good names up there with some good value. Low net as well. I see a couple names that I would throw some money on. Some real good odds though. For not even having teams yet, I've seen some good names. What are you guys looking at in particular?
Well, one that caught my eye just now actually is First Chundy. Obviously, we know Dan checked this box last year, but Carter at plus 100 seems like a good amount of seems like some really good value. Not that he's prone to chundying, but if somebody goes out there, with the potential for one to happen, and Carter sort of pulls trig early, he could sneak in there from behind and grab that first chundy
Photo finish.
before the actual incident takes place. So, I don't know how you guys are looking at that, but that's the first one that caught my eye.
So I'll piggyback off that one. Obviously, when the odds are kind of coming out, one of the kind of like piggyback bets, like how we have net golf balls gained for Fetty, was second Chundy.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that we had me in there at minus 400.
Yeah.
Being willing. I like the over on Fetty golf balls. That's averaged out to about 16 a round. He's coming home with, and 2 long days at Diamond Springs could get him more than halfway there. But just it depends also on how he's playing. If he's keeping his ball in play, he's not going to be finding other balls too, right?
Exactly.
So I
Kyle,
wouldn't say it's a lock, but it's probable.
Absolutely. It seems like a high number on paper, but definitely doable. Kyle, what about you? Which one of these specifically stands out to you?
Yeah, I mean, selfishly, Mr. Irrelevant's always at top of mind. As Mr. Irrelevant last year, me sitting there at plus 200 don't sound like a bad bet. I'll go back. I'll go back to back if needed. Most the one that I found most interesting is the most of on draft night being between fiancés, husbands, boyfriends, and bachelors.
Mm-hmm.
Any thought or analysis, any of you guys, on that one?
I mean, fiancés at minus 110, it honestly feels like there's still some value there, knowing that currently there's 5 of those guys. Well, I know we talked to Cody. I don't remember when he told us his wedding was, so that's a bit of an issue for us. Poor listening skills. But knowing that there's 5 engaged guys and only 4 married, it's hard for me to see that husbands jumps fiancés before that. But then again, I don't remember when these dudes said that their weddings were, other than I know flops and chases aren't happening before. So, boyfriends, that would be sad if that hit. That would be very sad.
Would be tough.
As would if bachelors hits,
bachelor hits,
everybody's going to be rich.
I believe I'm the only.
It's going to be rich, but we're going to have some problems.
Let's say I think I'm the only bachelor in this whole thing.
If Bachelor hits, the Kickstart's going to turn into 15 or 16 bog rattles a day.
Yeah,
The fellas are going to be down bad.
hourly. Yeah, yeah. So you can see on the screen there the current statistics. Shame on me for not knowing when Cody's, Brendan's, or Trick's weddings actually are, but yeah, that fiance seems like a lock until somebody provides me with that additional information.
You know what? No, shame on them for not giving you an invite, Jay. That's on them.
Yeah, I didn't receive a save the date. What's up with that?
My ass didn't either.
So while we got a little pause in here, we're gonna go over to some of the fellas in the chat. Preston likes he likes the over on balls found for Fetty. And he also says red shirt on Ranger Rick at the Mines is a lock.
That's good. He probably remembers from last year. I don't. Red seems like it could be right. Generally, they go with brighter colors for those guys, so you can see them coming.
Good insight.
So,
and I will say
by him.
We got the guy that was griefing us at the Mines last year was wearing red.
Yeah, but he was not a
However,
Ranger.
He was not a Ranger.
Yeah.
Preston also chimes in the odds on fiancés should be like minus 500. Seems like free money.
That's
You
what
better
I'm.
hammer
That's
it.
kind of what I'm saying. But
You better
maybe
hammer it.
Vegas knows something that we don't. I don't know.
You got three guys in pretty long-term boyfriend status that could be looking to make the jump
Yeah.
in the
Does
early
Fetty
summer,
have
but
any trips to Vegas planned? Nobody knows.
Who's to say?
Hard.
Who's also to say that we don't get a little shotgun with it, you know?
Yeah.
Whoa.
That's all. We could take that discussion offline for sure. But let me ask for some before we get into Austin's picks. Can I get some clarification on that last one in the bottom corner? Net Eagles. Is that their total points scored? Is that what that number is?
That
That
is
is-
the total number of physical net Eagles throughout the round from everybody.
Oh yeah, obviously we're playing
the Golden Harp.
The Golden Harps are playing against the Conductors this year, so
Mhm.
obviously. Yeah, okay. I
Preston
hear
did
ya.
not win.
He did not. Right.
Looking
Okay,
right at you in your living room.
Thank you. That's my bad.
Real
Poor
quick,
guy.
how many net Eagles did we have last year as a group?
We don't know.
You don't
I
know.
can look it up. Proceed and I'll provide that information before
Before we get there.
Yeah, before we get there.
All right. So Esser sitting at low net. What picks you like? What picks don't you like? Give us if you were to put your stamp on one, what do you think here?
The way Carter's been playing, man, plus 120, that doesn't seem too bad, but I kind of also like the field as a possible upset pick.
Ooh.
We only have 5 names on there. There's 7 other guys. They could show up and do something. At 14-1, not saying it's a bad pick, but if I was going with the safe one, I would probably put Carter up there at plus 120. Hell, I'd even throw myself in there at 4-1. I'm coming to play this year, so 4-1 odds on that. Could throw a little sprinkle on that too. Yeah. What do you guys see for that one?
Personally, I agree. I think the value is there with yourself and with Cody at plus 3-1 and 4-1. You're not haven't dropped your handicaps so far that you're not losing any help from the dots as well, which is something that I look at. Me as low net personally, I got to play pretty good gross to hold off anybody with any amount of dots. So, Tricky and Carter could be right there if they play really, really good too, but without much help from dots, I think the value is in there at the 3-1, 4-1, 4.5-1 spot. But don't hate the field as a pick. Like there's a lot of dots left out there unlisted.
There is. There
I
definitely
mean,
is.
Chase in there in the field, right?
Chase in the
Cody
field.
or Kyle and Fetty getting all 20 plus dots this year
Mm-hmm.
in the low net and not being capped at 18.
Which is crazy that we were capped at 18 before, but that's neither here nor there.
You still have a ring, Kyle.
Listen, we live and we learn, okay? Just get over it.
Yeah.
All right, moving over to most improved.
I'd put it on myself. There. I think I'm gonna win it. I want to win low net every time I show up to this thing.
Carter, we made the odds.
Yeah, and it's good money. Vegas is fair. But I'm hammering my
Esser, most improved. I'm sure your eyes had to raise a little bit seeing that you're the favorite in that round.
I did. I was a little surprised seeing that. Do I love it? Yeah, minus 110. I would throw some money on that. Maybe a little Dan at 3-1. Sounds like he's been figuring out some golf lately. Doesn't seem too bad. Maybe Preston too. I don't know. I like those 2 names along with myself at 3 and 4-1 and myself. think there's some good value there.
What do you think
Yeah.
about Trick at plus 500 there?
It's he's playing some good golf to begin with. What was his handicap last year? Like a 3?
5.
He was a 5 last year.
He was a 5. He's a 2 right now.
He ended last year plus 10 par to net.
Holy crap. He's gonna be a 2 this year. It's a long shot, but if he plays some golf, man, he could be right up there. Absolutely.
I find it hard to believe that he's gonna shoot plus 10 gross at this tournament coming back.
Yeah.
Jay, any other thoughts there?
Yeah, I mean, Esser, it seems like the chalky play for sure. That last round sort of, if you want to think about it this way, boosted his scoring average so that he sort of had some room to play with coming into this year. I can see why Vegas is high on him. Fetty seems like a great pick, as well as Kyle, and just getting extra dots this year is going to be a huge help. So right there is where I think the value is, going much higher than that. Tricky. I don't let me check what his scoring average was last year, but it seems like there's not all that much more room for improvement for him. 74.25, and he's reduced his handicap. That's maybe one I would steer away from, but the others seem like a lot of value, and the chalk with Esser is spot on.
So Carter, most beers consumed. Run us through where we got our odds there.
Yeah, I mean, Preston, he said it when he was on the podcast. This trip is a little bit of a vacation for him. And he's been known to put him down. Birdie juice guy on the course. He can rattle it with the best of them. I can see why we got him as the favorite. But I would have my money on Chase down there at 2-1. He's a big frame. He can put him down easy and fast. And not be very loud about it either. Just kind of be a sneaky little, oh, Chase has had 5 at Founders already. Like, oh my gosh, this guy's got to drive us home.
Been there.
Chase, he's gonna be a guy that's gonna sneak up on you all of a sudden on waking up on Wednesday morning. Is he'd be like, yeah, I had 15 yesterday, plus those 6 on the course, and we're gonna be like, oh my god.
Ezra, what do you think?
I like Chase there.
How about some Justin at 3-1? Is Justin going to let a little loose this year?
I think Vegas is way off on this. I'm going to be honest with you guys. Like, I literally don't have the volume to consume in the way that Preston or maybe Kyle, even I suppose Fetty's not going to count because he's not going to hit actual beers. Trick might be in the same way. But the total number of cans conduced, there's me at 3-1. I'm not giving any gambling advice here, but you're gonna want to steer away from that one probably.
I didn't even think of if it's beer specific. I don't know. The field looks risky because Trick and Fetty shy away from those. But if it's cans, then honestly, field with Fetty being in there is a great pick, honestly.
Yeah,
the way he can put down those seltzers. He's a guy that round isn't going good. Give me a drink. I'm striping it right now. Give me a drink.
Where do you think his odds would be at if he was on the list for cans? Favorite?
I don't know about favorite. Maybe somewhere in there with Kyle and Chase.
Yeah, I was thinking probably around plus 200 overall.
Yeah.
I feel like I could get him. It's just a matter of who's going to bed first. And historically on this trip, it's me, but who knows?
We got some peanut gallery comments for this one. Preston likes himself at minus 100. Says Chase goes for the heavy beers.
Yeah.
Can get rough in the night, but I mean Chase he's a train car. He just doesn't go down. Dan's upset that he's not listed as a named person. Suck it.
Yeah. I mean, I'm with Dan on that. I agreed. Maybe the most, I don't know. There's not that much value because the odds aren't that much better taking the field, but having Dan and Fetty in the field, but we're talking about just beers here. So, does Twisted Tea count as beers? If Dan's planning on bringing Twisted Tea, I mean, I can't think that.
And
that's
where do
gonna
we sit
count.
if Dan's just sitting there with the tea bag during Rattling Bog? I mean,
Right.
That's just one. That only counts as one.
Only counts as one, boss.
I'm
One
in the
bag
field, and I was known to do 24 in 5 hours. But I mean, I'm saying I'm in the field.
All right, moving on to maybe the most sought after question here, the most bet on bet. Are we all in agreement on believing in Fetty and hitting the over on both? Any
10-unit
rebuttal?
Mega Max. That's good. That's the bet of the day. The
So-
over.
So I like the over here, but one thing that we do have to consider is Fetty's team is in the playoffs still. They're on a little bit of a run. Did well. I believe they won the first 2 games in the second round. Fetty's not on the trip. Fetty can't find 64.5 golf balls. That being said, yeah, I'm still taking the over on that one.
He'll still find them.
He will.
Yeah, absolutely.
Obviously, we have no clue who the teams are, but Esser, who's your pick for the winner here?
That's a tough one. I like to say whoever's I'm on is going to win this year. But I do like a little underdog story, though.
That's
So
a Monday morning bet.
That sure is. Yeah. Is this has a chance for conductors to go for a 3-peat, correct?
It would be.
That's correct.
Wow.
First in Kickstart history.
First, all right, yeah. Let's go some Golden Harps for a little upset.
The plus money action.
Yep.
Mr. Irrelevant. Only 4 names listed here. No field. Vegas is being limited here. Who do you like? Who do you dislike?
So Fetty is minus 100 for Mr. Irrelevant, and then plus 200 to get picked first.
That's so okay. So that's picked first, Kyle or Fetty.
Yes.
Okay.
So which one of those 2 gets selected first?
Yeah, who gets picked before the other?
Oh, okay. I see. All right, all right. So Mr. Irrelevant. Yeah, I think Fetty minus 100 is who I would go with.
Give him the green.
Yep.
I'll take myself at plus 200. The only way, because Flop's advanced statistics are really solid, better than given credit for. But he's also taken a year off. He was out with injury.
He's unproven.
He is. I mean, can he get back to his younger days, or is the body wearing on him? I don't know.
He put up a good 18 holes at U of M last Saturday.
Absolutely.
But here's the thing too, right? As we saw it with Esser last year, that Monday singles match. He's got a new knee. It's a long week of beers and sleeping on a bunk bed. I mean, I'd still probably pick him before Fetty. I like him. But I feel like it's unfair for me to bet on this one. Obviously
You can decide.
I can basically decide at the end. But yeah, I mean, they're all good options, honestly. And none of them
Yeah.
are bad picks. If you get this guy in the last
No.
round, like, you're happy to have him on your team. There's no
Yeah.
bad draft picks in the Kickstart.
No, there's not. As our final stake in the ground on first Chundy and second Chundy, which I know we didn't prep you for.
First Chundy. Let's go Cullen. Cullen for first Chundy, Carter for second Chundy shortly after.
The only thing I want to throw in is I could see Dan being a sneaky pick for second Chundy, just because somebody was a second Chundy for him. He's got to pay it forward.
Okay.
That's true. Dan also has a friendly stomach. I think if he sees someone else Chundy, even if he doesn't want to by choice, he may be forced to become second Chundy. He's, and plus he's going to be throwing it down in the Rattling Bog. So, we talked about the volume issue before. I like the thought process, Kyle, for sure.
Yeah.
It's all comes down to the pizza he takes in before.
Very true.
Right. And with the rumors circling of the Twisted Tea being in a bag, that eliminates some can switch over time if you get caught in a late round bog. Or it could be a thing where I'm just holding the button down for Dan and he's going, and when it switches to me next, he goes out the front door and I'm gonna have Twisted Tea in one hand and my uvula in the other. It's free money. First and second Chundy.
I have the Twitch up. Dan just messaged trying to see what my elbow tastes like. That's so good.
I have to live with the fact that I couldn't be there for him every day for a year.
Just so you guys know,
hoping he
live
goes.
odds on Dana's second Chundy have just jumped to minus 1,000. So
Mm-hmm.
you guys put that down in your notebooks.
Esser, I assume based off your Mr. Irrelevant answer, you'll be taking me at the minus 150 there.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Field scoring average, whatever way you want to put it. Over under, it actually should be 77. Oh no, I'll leave it there. 77.38. That is the average of the last two Kickstarts. Field scoring average. Do you think everyone's shooting a little bit better or a little bit worse this year?
Well, this is most people's third time, some people's second time. So I think by playing it a couple times, I think his score's got to be better going into year 3. So I would have to take the under. You guys agree or disagree? Think his score's gonna be a little worse this year?
I like it. I like the under, mainly because there's hopefully going to be no new faces. I know for a lot of guys last year it was their kind of first taste at competitive golf. A little bit nervous. And then the same thing too is handicaps are coming down, so guys are playing better golf. And then just playing the courses too, right? Like getting a feel for Diamond Springs, getting a feel for the Mines, Pilgrim's Run. Like guys are gonna be a little more weary to keep the ball in play. And I think it's gonna come down just a titch. It's gonna be tight.
Yeah, I think when we started this sort of this conversation, I was with you guys on the under, but I think I've convinced myself to hit the over on this one. And part of that reason is because so many of the guys have been playing really good and bringing their handicaps down. Lower and lower the handicaps get, I feel like, especially in team golf where you don't necessarily have to grind out a bogey, you can sort of back your way into a double here and there, and your individual score is not first in your mind. I think the over is the play here. Guys with lower handicaps playing team golf, not focused on the low net competition. I know that goes against some of the higher handicap guys getting more dots than last year, but the middle of the field has all brought their handicaps down. And I think that's where we're going to push it over that line, 77.38. I think it's going over.
I'm with Jay. The longer we're in it, the more guys get relaxed. Handicaps going down. I'm with Jay. I'm taking the over as well.
I feel you may have swung me. I don't know with your logic in your House of Mirrors. I think guys are going to try to shoot lower scores, and that could hurt them, right? Guys are going to be more willing to go for the hero shot, knowing that a double doesn't do much.
Doesn't hurt you in the team game at all.
Right.
So that's really bottom, end of the day, that's what we're all sort of competing for is the team side. I don't think there's anybody that shows up and is like, I want to win the low net. I don't care what the team does.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, like, because guys are going to be a little more willing to make the hero shot instead of, kind of taking their medicine to make bogey. They're gonna be like, well, I'll just hammer it and try to make birdie, and snap hook it or top it, and now they're picking their ball up from 150, saying good luck, partner.
Yeah, maybe.
I'm staying firm with the under. We'll see. I'm gonna stay firm with it.
Look, I'm rooting for everybody. I hope everybody has one round that's their career round. Okay, but I just think the average is gonna be over. I don't know. How about low net head to head? Let's move on. I'm tired of trashing my friends here.
You want to go low net head to head?
Yeah. Tell me about that one. I know I'm skipping a little bit ahead, but there's some other ones. I want to hear about this one. Just straight up Trick versus Carter. Low net.
Can I ask what their handicaps are going to be?
I don't know exactly what they're going to be.
Mine's 3.5 and his is 2 point something right now.
Well, it's within a shot.
Yeah.
And to add to it, Trick beat Carter low net by 2 last year.
With 1 dot on me. Or I had 1 dot on him.
I think it's redemption season, Carter, man. I think you'll get this one this year. Plus 120. You've been playing. I mean, I'm impressed by the golf you've been playing.
I've made some swing adjustments. I've thrown a club or 2, lost golf balls, but it's coming along.
That would be my lock because Carter at plus 120. What about you guys?
Yeah. Trick currently a 1.7 index.
1.7?
1.7. Which if anybody wants to pick him against me for the singles match again, I'll play him for whatever you guys want to play for.
Poor guy's not even in the chat to defend himself.
I love it.
Justin's got a beat in that guy's ears.
MVP is pretty redundant. Same player who's won low net has also won MVP each of the 2 years. MVP also is on the winning team each of the 2 years. Down the road, we could get into a conversation of a losing team having an MVP or the MVP not having low net, but as history has it, that seems to be what it is. Esser, do you have any issues with that?
No,
that reasoning.
No, it's pretty consistent across. You're gonna hit the low net. You probably should be most valuable. But it would be interesting to see an MVP on the losing team 1 year. That would be an interesting feat to see.
What would have to happen, in your opinion, Esser?
Probably go 4-0, and then their team
4-0 and lose.
And lose.
I mean, 4-0 and lose is very difficult only because there's only 3 points available per round, and so you're talking about a guy and his partner basically in the first 3 rounds they've already won a third of the points. It's hard to do, but I do think a guy that goes 3-1 or wins 3-0-1 could have a good chance. A guy where or somebody that ties two of their team matches, and he was very clearly the one carrying his team, and then wins the other one and wins his singles match. It, goes 2-0-2. I could see that being, but the other thing is guys got to be paying attention to what other guys are doing. So like last year, I mean, everybody knew that I had gone 4-0, but we didn't realize what Trick's record was, and I don't think that many people knew that Chase was undefeated when we voted for MVP either.
And could have very easily been 4-0.
Yeah, he very easily could have went 4-0 as well. So I think it's harder to be on the losing team, but it's also harder to know kind of what everybody's record is before we vote. Yeah, I think I would absolutely love to see an MVP from the losing team, a guy that finishes second in low net and finishes on the
First in
losing
low net,
team,
even.
and
That'd be something.
ends up with MVP.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, I'd like to see Chase go out there, go 2-0-2 and be the low net and have to surrender the cup. It'd be a great kickstart for everybody.
Yeah, all of that
I'd vote
being
for him.
said, I think the value is in the captains right there. Whichever one wins, whichever one carries his team to victory, it has a really good chance of being the MVP. Last year Carter's record wasn't that stellar individually, but I don't know, I could see him, you go 2-1-1 as a captain and your team wins and you're high in the low net, you could get a number of votes too. So that's where I think the value is at.
Yeah. Moving on to the most of on draft night. I think we're all betting on no shotgun weddings and no breakups, right?
Yep. Fingers
Uh,
crossed.
Now, wait, really quick. Let me take a peek here. Oh, never mind. I was wondering if Esther could find a girlfriend between now and then, if boyfriends can tie fiancés, but we're not there yet.
Rolling solo all the way up until June 2nd.
Keeping his options open for that draft night, though.
This guy's locked in.
He's gonna have Shawty on his phone being like, "What are we?" And he'll be like, "I'll talk to you next week." Gotta let his money line hit.
Talk to you Thursday.
Yep.
Calls her Monday morning. All right, I'm in.
Yeah, I think fiancés at -110 is make a lock. I don't think anything's changing between now and then.
Yeah, I'm with you.
That's just too good a value. Bog rattles. I don't remember how many we did last year. I think it was 3.5 last year. If I'm not, or 3 last year. Not 3.5.
I think maybe 4. Did we have one on Sunday night too, or no? Just Tuesday night, or just Monday night?
Tuesday.
Just Tuesday?
I think so.
Then I think it was probably 3. I think you're right, Kyle.
That was also, we were teaching everyone the game. Not a lot of guys knew who Carlisle Frazier was, nor really why would they.
A lot of dudes meeting each other for the first time.
Yeah. I mean, Vegas definitely thinks this year's a bit more aggressive with the line that they've set in terms of the beers drank, the rattles bogged. Esser, what do you think? What's the value pick here? What do you think is going to happen?
Yeah, I think now that everyone knows what it is, going in the second year of everyone kind of knowing each other too, I feel like a few more bogs will be rattled. I'm looking forward to a couple more this year. So I like the over. I like the over at plus money. Definitely, it's at 6. So I think we might be able to hit 7. Who knows? Who knows?
I think the line is spectacular. I know that. Guys knowing what they're doing, everybody knowing each other, everybody being super excited. That the live odds are going to change drastically if a bog gets rattled on Sunday night. I'll tell you that, because you get one in on Sunday, all of a sudden the ball's rolling and the bog's about to get rattled. That bog does not know what it's about to get hit with. I know that for sure.
I don't see a world where we don't rattle one Sunday night.
Right.
I think it's a hard press to maybe say we get 2 because it's tough to get the fellas to that point. Long travel day. A lot of us are gonna have played 18 holes. The draft is emotionally draining.
But it's hard to rattle the bog only once, though, as well.
Right. So I think it could be one good rip, and then that Monday night, that Founders back rip, and then you get 2 that night, and you get 2 on Tuesday night, and you're at 5, and then the guys who have over are going to be pushing the pedal.
We're pushing for
They're gonna be like,
6.
come on, come on, let's rattle it, let's go one more. And the guys that have the under be like, no, it's probably good right here.
Preston just commented in the chat and said, might just do a solo bog to hit the over.
Attaboy. I'll be joining you. I'll be joining you to hit the over.
I'll put it out there now. If the conductors are in the lead by a full point or more after the second round, we'll do one clubhouse at Diamond Springs between rounds.
Wow.
Treacherous waters.
Are we gonna have time this year between rounds?
If the conductors are up.
Breaking news.
Ooh, dangerous.
That is dangerous. I like it though.
I did too.
This one's gonna be talked about. This line's gonna be moving constantly. If you like those plus odds the over, you gotta lock those in now because it's gonna be moving. Ranger Rick at the Mines, his shirt color. You can figure out who Ranger Rick is, but what color do you think his shirt is?
Plaid at -100. That's a bold one. It's a bold one at -100. I don't know about that. Maybe a good blue it's a Monday, so maybe a good blue.
Yeah, that light blue.
That light blue to start the week. I don't know. I think I like that.
Yeah, I think I want to say I'm in on the green. I have no idea why. I think one that's not on here is gold. If you look on the Mines website, most of their stuff is sort of this black and gold, color style. Gold shirts wouldn't surprise me. I want to think the cart staff had black shirts on last year. But I would be, if you were telling me I had to include this in my parlay, then I gotta have green, I think.
Kyle, what do you want? What do you like here?
I hate the odds of plaid, I really do, but it'd be a historic thing. You almost are rooting for history on plaid. I don't know if I've ever seen plaid on a golf course. I'd have to take plaid just to be on the right side of history.
I mean, we took gate 1 at the Derby, and it was cursed.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, I'd ride plaid too. I feel like in my head, I see that, that one model year older gas golf cart, trash can with the bungees, keeping it on the back, and a baseball bat in the basket, and a brown plaid shirt untucked, mid-calf socks rolling around in that golf cart. The Ranger
cargo shorts too. Yeah, he's got the whole thing on.
Oh yeah.
I can just feel it somewhere. So I might have to go plaid and go blue. Hedge it a little bit.
I don't hate the hedge.
I don't hate it one bit.
Carlisle Fraser, unsung hero. Esther, any thoughts? Any thoughts there? Any picks?
Yeah, I'm looking at it. I have a name, but I don't see him on the board. I might get a little more specific. I think Mike Bomarito is going to be the unsung hero. I don't know what his odds are, but if I was to throw some money on it, I think he's coming to play this year. So that's going to be my pick.
I'm with you. You know, I think the value is in the field there for sure. It includes Mike. It includes Dan. I would be picking the long shot at these odds. I don't know. You might have to go over to FanDuel. These are very obviously from DraftKings. FanDuel, you know, they got all the props over there. No free ads, but you know, you might have to go find FanDuel for the individual stuff like that. But from this list, I'd be taking the field because it includes Michael and Dan in there for sure.
Absolutely.
No offense to Kyle, no offense to US, but the field at plus 350 just too enticing.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I like Michael. He can putt the lights out. Right? If it's on the flat top or just off, it's in range.
Yeah.
Right? He gets that thing outside his own 3-point line. He's in range. He can make it from anywhere. Birdies because of it. Birdies, he'll make 3s for 2 with his dots. He'll make a lot of pars where a lot of us wouldn't, just because he'll roll it in from 25, 30 feet and not even smile at it because he knew it was in as soon as it left the club face.
Yeah.
I like him, and I like the field for this one too.
Two names you guys haven't brought up yet on this one specifically, but I really like Fetty and Cody for both of them. I think there's a world where like Fetty's dots are rolling this day, and similar how you did to us last year, you guys moved them to the back to give them the last like hole.
Mm-hmm.
And I could see a moment where something similar happens to last year where he gets that shot. I think same thing with Cody. You get him in a dogfight against Carter, Justin, or Tricky, and like it's him against the world, and he makes a crazy shot. Obviously, both of those dudes are fun, both on and off the golf course, which is the ultimate, the nature of this award. I could see both of these guys getting in the right position, right place, right time, and making it happen. I really do.
So going to Fetty, I think one thing that could help him get some votes is number one, if you have the over on golf balls and he hits it.
Yeah.
And number two, if he's your playing partner, he there's a good chance he's gonna find your golf ball.
Very good chance.
He's got an eye for it, right? So the unsung hero is exactly what it sounds like, right? It's the intangibles. It's the guy that provides for the team, and it might not be in the prettiest, spotlight way. And Fetty's a guy that if he gets up there and puts together, brings home a point and a half, 2 points, I could see him holding it.
Good too.
Absolutely.
Last bit before we close this thing out. Net Eagles for everybody. Jay, did you find a number for this one? From last year?
I count 8 last year.
Wow.
Now this is also from the low net individual. So we're not talking about match play Eagles. I think maybe the line might be changing live before our eyes here, but I'm counting 8 from last year.
The odd makers did talk about that. There's a lot of hidden dots.
There are hidden ones going on out there that you might not know about. I got Cody with 2, Austin with 1, Cart with 2, Preston with 2, and Kyle with 1. So they're out there. I think it's the same conversation though with the field scoring average. When there's less dots to go around, there's less chance for net eagles, but when you got a guy chipping in for a gross eagle, those count too. So you gotta have those in there. When the guys are playing better overall, there's better chance for gross eagles. So with the line changing before my eyes, I'm leaning towards the under. But man, it's gonna be fun to find out. I'll tell you that.
I was surprised to hear 8. I didn't think it was that many.
Yeah, well, so in matches, there was fewer. I think in matches there was only 3, and that they all happened on the first day. So there's 8. The ones that are happening in the background are the ones that are happening just in the low net individual game, but
Gotcha.
they happen and you don't even know about it, right? You think it's a just a regular birdie because you weren't getting a stroke on that hole in your match, but there's more out there happening than you guys realize.
Look, I'm going to stick with mine that everyone's going to get better this year. They played the course, so I'm going to go the over. I can even see
love it.
maybe double digits for net eagles. We'll see. I think everyone's ready to play this year. So we'll see. I think the over is a good pick.
Yeah, and another thing, these guys that are over 18s, they only got to make par on a hole where they're getting 2 dots. So
That's true. That's very
I
true.
just received a text message,
mhm.
9:32 p.m. from my Virginia scout. He said, insider information, Fedoruk playing good golf in Virginia right now, netted a 67 the other day.
Whoa.
Has called out one-on-one full strokes with J-Mac.
Whoa. Really?
Said he can do damage the way he's playing.
Low net, so that falls under the low net head to head, or is that a one-on-one singles match? Singular match.
Interesting.
Not sure on the specifics of that. He may be calling you out for one of these, low net head to heads.
Well, as the odds makers, what do you guys think the odds are on that?
I like
Between you
Justin
and
minus 200.
Fetty getting 20 something like 26 strokes right now.
Yeah, I think he's a 25.
Yeah, I'm like a +1 or maybe +2 right now. I don't know. So
6 dots.
So,
I would love to be in one of the carts to watch it happen.
Oh yeah.
I would love to watch it happen, definitely. But I think Justin getting challenged, man. That's a tough one. You said Justin minus 200.
that's what I would put it at. I'd
Yeah.
like it there.
I think it's not a lot of value, but it's good to add. It's a good leg in a parlay, maybe. Juice it a little bit. So yeah, I'd probably take Justin.
yeah, that's a good point. That's a good point. I mean, look, if we get paired together at some point, that can definitely be a side game. I'll play that with them straight up. We can keep a second scorecard for that.
I think we should. I think that would be interesting to watch.
What a game we would have if Fetty and I are in the final group coming down the stretch at Pilgrim's Run playing against each other as the anchor match.
I'll say this: I got a couple of rules when it comes to gambling. Don't bet against Nick Saban. Don't bet against Tom Brady. Don't bet against Bill Belichick. Don't bet on the Pistons. I am not betting against Justin here. If I'm gonna bet it, I'm betting Justin. If not, I'm staying away.
You guys think highly of me, and I appreciate that, but 27 dots is a lot of dots, my man. We'll see.
You got
Last
Fetty's out
thing,
here
Vegas.
Tell it
Sorry,
to us,
Kyle.
Carter.
Fetty's out here shooting +31, +23s, right? +33. I mean, Justin's gonna have to put together a good tidy round.
Well, that's the thing. If you're telling me he's going to shoot +33, I'm not all that much. I'm not necessarily shaking in my boots, but you don't want to be out there when you run into one of those +22 or +23 rounds.
Right.
You don't want to be
the
around
other
for.
thing is these plus 33s aren't capped at net double.
Correct.
That's
So
a really good point.
he's got some 7 for 5s, right? Like he can blow up. He can blow up and still shoot 33 over, where if he's gonna pick up at net double, it's gonna get tight.
I think
Yeah,
we should.
but I don't
I
know.
think
I
we
don't
should
know.
make it happen.
Yeah, I don't know that makes a difference in match play though, Kurt, because he's not gonna.
I'm saying stroke play, low net.
Yeah, I hear you.
I'm with Esser. I think it would be a fun match. I think we got to make it happen some way, somehow.
I think so.
Justin from Vegas, they added a new line. Hole in one this year. Yes for plus 10,000. No, minus 1,000. Esser, are you staying away from it? You want to put a little sprinkle on? What are you thinking?
I'm a degenerate, man. Of course, I'm going to put a little money on a hole in one. Why not? Yeah, I'll sprinkle some money on that.
I
Plus
put 10 down. I put 10 down on yes just to try to do it again.
Yeah, you had one a little while ago. Damn, that's.
Did you have a hole in one, Kurt? I didn't even hear about it. It's real cool for you, dude.
Jay,
So-
how insane would it be? Like, what is put me in perspective here? Because I feel like one of these years it's going to happen, but
It could be it could blow up the trip. I'm gonna be honest with you that if somebody makes a hole in one on the first day, we may
Dogs rattle
have
jump significantly.
we might only have a 54 hole event. We might have to cancel the morning round at Diamond Springs. Like we're gonna be raging so hard at Founders and back at the Airbnb. Like the deposit on that's going out the window for sure. I mean, just if somebody makes one at the mines or even like how are we going to get the teams drafted if somebody makes one on Sunday at that practice round?
very
I mean,
valid
that
point.
guy's going first OV.
Like that's a dangerous thing. Would it be
No one's
probably the
hotter than
coolest
him.
thing? Yeah, it would be probably the coolest thing, that I've had happen in golf. And, so I hope it does happen. That would be awesome. But logistically, like as the guy running the trip, it poses some interesting challenges.
Great. Well, this is a lot of fun.
Dan's saying he. Sorry, Kyle. Dan's late ad. He goes, I'd slap a whole tea bag on the spot if someone made a hole in one. He would.
That's good.
He would crush the box in front of everyone.
Wow.
I'll bring it up because we got obviously you 3 on and 4 watching at home. Hole in one prize pot. Every year put $20 in and it just adds up until someone makes it.
20 seems like a lot for that, but yeah.
Seems
I
steep.
mean, yeah, $5 per guy every year. I mean, if we
Five
go,
a guy, yeah, sure.
it's a little sad if we make one the first year and that guy only gets $60, but if we go 4, 5, 6 years of that, then the
I'm
hole in
in.
one.
Good.
I
is
mean,
probably
yeah.
pay off.
In an envelope in the base of the cup.
Sure.
Just keep passing it around so he can keep, filling it up. I mean, that would be pretty sweet for maybe, 2030, 2035 range for that guy to dunk one in a match where he's down 5-4, and really turn something around.
Yeah,
Give a team
43-year-old Preston Beard makes a hole in one. Wins 1,000 US American dollars.
Dan Henderson slaps a 16-year-old twisted tee box. One touches the whole thing. Chundies. Carter McPhail knocks out his front tooth following suit.
That'd be good. I love
The
it.
triple
Take us out, Kyle.
Yeah. So, I mean, this was a ton of fun. Esther, I appreciate you joining us.
Thanks
I
for
hope
having
you
me.
had as much fun as we had, and apologies for the logistical delays that we had leading up to this night, but appreciate you joining.
Pleasure.
Before we take off, I do want to share my screen one more time because Carter and I, while we did put the odds together, and those odds are more or less, made up and having fun, we are wanting to run a little competition as we get this Kickstart rolling. So we put together a Google form here. Some of these questions that are trackable, you'll be able to put your money where your mouth is. Added some, dropped some. Like, we don't have the Fetty golf balls on here, unfortunately. We
It's
did
too hard to
update.
keep track of.
Yeah, it would just be too hard to keep track of. But the Fog Rattles is live. Total Net Eagles, that line's gonna have to be updated. But like, who's getting picked first? Who's got a better round at the Mines between Esser and Cullen? Who's got a better net round at Diamond Springs between Justin and Carter? Carter famously balls out in the afternoon at Diamond Springs. Can Justin slay the dragon? Be on the other side of it. Color of Golf Pro Mike's shirt at Pilgrim's Run. He's a golf pro there. Justin's good buddies with him.
Yeah, shout out Mike Ray.
Starter at Pilgrim's Run. So we got a bunch of bets on here. Carter and I had talked about $10 a man. If you want to join and enter, we figured out a way to make it pretty simple to count it all up at the end, but we're thinking winners would be announced within 12 to 24 hours of the Kickstart. So we'll get this sent out in about a day, and whoever wants to join, let us know in the chat. We'll get that ball rolling.
I will say all entries are due on Sunday night
Prior to the draft.
prior to the draft. I don't know if we have the fiancés, husbands, boyfriends one on there. I doubt that we do.
I think we do.
But we might need to take it off if we do. You can definitely fill it out before or even there before the draft. But we don't need the money. Kyle won't need the money until then. We'll do a final count of who's in and approved. So if you fill it out tomorrow when it goes out, that's fine. Just you won't be confirmed in until we get your money on draft night. And me and Kyle take care of that.
And unlike some of the picks from tonight, none of these are really going to move. None of the lines are going to move. So they're all pretty much pre-draft. It'll stay the same. So there's no advantageously waiting, if you will.
Yeah, 1 point for getting it right.
Yep, 1 point for getting it right. Whoever comes out with the most right wins it all. But yeah, that's all we got for you guys. Justin, Esser, any last words from you guys?
No, shout out to the guys watching along live on Twitch. That's pretty cool. Thanks, S, for being patient with us and coming on as soon as we asked. And I can't wait to see you. I'm so excited.
Looking
Less than
forward.
30 days out.
We got 24 days.
Yeah, it's gonna be pretty sweet. 3 weeks.
Can't come soon enough.
Yes, sir.
Absolutely. So appreciate you guys. Love you guys. Next episode, Justin, why don't you run us through really quick what our probably last episode is going to be before the Kickstart here?
Yeah, TBD on the date, but we'll talk.